I'm Jennifer Mason, 33 years old, and I'll never forget the moment my world shattered. Standing in my apartment in downtown Seattle, I held an elegant card in my trembling hands. My younger sister's wedding invitation. The ceremony was supposed to be tomorrow, and I had everything prepared. The perfect dress, a heartfelt speech, genuine excitement. I can't wait for tomorrow's celebration, I told my mother over the phone, my voice full of anticipation. Her response cut through me like ice. Jennifer. The wedding happened 7 days ago. The room spun. My breath caught in my throat. What are you talking about? I demanded, checking the invitation again. The date clearly showed tomorrow. We made an error with your card, she mumbled, her voice barely audible. It's already over. In that instant, everything clicked into place. This wasn't a mistake. It was deliberate. My entire family had conspired to exclude me from one of the most important days of my sister's life. That evening, I sat alone in my Pike Place apartment, the invitation mocking me from the table. Memories flooded back, all the times I'd rescued them from financial disasters. 4 years earlier, my sister Rachel had launched her graphic design agency. She dreamed big but executed poorly. When her first major client abandoned the project, she found herself drowning in $12,000 of debt. She called me at 2 a.m., voice breaking with desperation. I promise I'll repay every cent, she swore. I transferred the money within hours. She never mentioned it again, not even a simple thank you. Then came my parents' house crisis. 3 summers ago, their suburban home outside Seattle needed urgent repairs, damaged roof, crumbling foundation, plumbing issues. The estimate was $35,000, and they claimed they'd lose everything without help. I emptied a significant portion of my savings, money I'd accumulated through countless late nights as a senior software architect. My father mumbled something vaguely grateful. My mother simply nodded. I believed this would strengthen our bond. I was wrong. They excluded me from their holiday gatherings, their neighborhood barbecues, their celebration dinners. You're always working, my mother would say coldly. The truth? I wasn't too busy. I was unwanted. Last holiday season was particularly painful. I drove 4 hours to join them, only to arrive at an empty house. We're at the Johnsons, my sister texted. No invitation included. I'd funded their lives, debts, repairs, even their anniversary vacation to wine country. But I remained the outsider, the one they remembered only when bills arrived. My phone interrupted my thoughts. It was my cousin, Emily Carter, 39, an investigative reporter who'd always supported me. Jennifer, are you all right? She asked gently. I explained everything. She sighed heavily. I hoped I wouldn't have to tell you this, but they planned your exclusion deliberately. Rachel insisted you'd overshadow her big day. Your successful career, your confidence, everything about you intimidated her. Your mother supported the decision completely. Each word burned. My sister, the one I'd saved from financial ruin, feared I'd steal her spotlight. My mother, who'd accepted my money so readily, agreed. I paced my apartment, Seattle's skyline glittering outside. Every ignored phone call, every dismissive comment about my corporate lifestyle, every time they'd treated me like an ATM rather than family, it all made sense now. You deserve better than this, Emily said firmly. What's your next move? I stopped pacing, my reflection staring back from the window. They thought they could erase me from their perfect day. They were about to learn a painful lesson. The following morning, I drove to my parents' house, hands gripping the steering wheel with white-knuckled intensity. I wasn't going to plead or cry. I wanted them to face their actions. I knocked sharply on the door. Patricia Mason, my mother, 59, answered with wide eyes. Jennifer, what brings you here so early? She asked nervously. I walked past her into the living room where David Mason, my father, 63, sat reading the newspaper. My sister Rachel, 29, lounged on the couch scrolling through her phone. They all froze when I entered. Why did you lie to keep me away from the wedding? I asked, my voice steel. Rachel's head snapped up, eyes narrowing. My mother started to speak, but I cut her off. You sent a false date deliberately, I stated. Silence filled the room. My father set down his newspaper, unable to meet my gaze. Rachel finally spoke, her voice dripping with defiance. Fine, I didn't want you there. You always steal attention. Your tech career, your independence, your confidence. It was supposed to be my day, not yours. Her words struck deep. The sister I'd rescued from financial collapse believed I'd ruin her wedding. I've given you everything, I said quietly, maintaining control. This is how you repay me? My mother stepped between us. Jennifer, your independence makes us feel inadequate. Rachel deserved to shine without comparison. My father remained silent, his complicity evident in his stillness. You allowed this to happen, I said, turning to him. He shifted uncomfortably. It's complicated. Complicated? They'd erased me from a celebration I'd looked forward to, and he had nothing meaningful to say. I'm done being your backup plan, I declared, looking directly at Rachel. She smirked. You're overreacting. My mother's voice softened. We're family, Jennifer. Don't make this a battle. But they'd already declared war by treating me like a tool rather than a daughter and sister. I walked toward the door. This isn't over, I said calmly. Rachel laughed mockingly. What will you do? Punish us? I didn't look back. They assumed I'd cave like always. They were wrong. The next day, I sat in my downtown office, pulling out a crucial folder. Yesterday's confrontation had hardened my resolve. I had something they didn't know about. I called Emily immediately. 6 years ago, my parents faced serious financial trouble. Medical bills, failed investments. They were about to lose their vacation property in the San Juan Islands. I bought it for $250,000 using my savings. Legally, it's mine. Emily's breath caught. You own that property? They never mentioned it to anyone. Exactly, I replied. I let them use it freely, believing family came first. After what they did, I'm finished being their doormat. Emily's voice turned fierce. Jennifer, that's your asset. They've exploited you long enough. Protect what's yours. I called my attorney, Margaret Chen, 43, known for her sharp legal mind. She arrived within 2 hours. Let me see the documentation, she said, opening her briefcase. I handed her the folder. Deeds, contracts, proof of purchase. She examined everything carefully. This is ironclad, she confirmed, holding up the deed. You own it completely. They have zero legal claim. Relief washed over me. They act like it's theirs, living there, using it however they want. Margaret's eyes met mine steadily. Legally, they're tenants at best. If you want to assert ownership, I can prepare notices immediately. Eviction if necessary. Prepare everything, I told her. Make it bulletproof, Emily called again as Margaret left. Jennifer, I heard Rachel has been hosting business clients at that island property, presenting it as her own. My jaw clenched. Rachel was using my property to prop up her struggling business, the same sister who'd excluded me to shine. She'll discover the truth soon, I said quietly. 2 weeks later, I sat in Michael Stevens' office, signing document after document. My family's betrayal had left scars, but today I was severing every financial connection they'd exploited. Michael, my financial advisor, 45, pushed another folder toward me. This closes the joint account you established with your parents years ago. The $18,000 loan your sister obtained is now entirely in Patricia and David Mason's names. They're responsible, not you. I signed each page steadily. That account, meant to help during difficult times, had become their tool to drain me. My phone buzzed with a text from Rachel. Jennifer, I'm sorry. Can we talk? I stared at the message. She'd schemed to exclude me, laughed when I confronted her. I ignored it and continued signing. Margaret noticed. You don't owe her a response, she said firmly. Focus on protecting yourself. Rachel's apology was too late and too hollow. Michael presented another document. This locks your family out of your accounts and investments completely. Your savings, your assets. Untouchable now. For years I'd paid their bills, covered their mistakes, even handled taxes for the island property they'd been renting out for profit. They pocketed rental income while I covered maintenance costs. The loan transfer is legally sound, Margaret added. If they miss payments, it's entirely their problem. I pictured Rachel's smug expression, my mother's excuses, my father's silence. They'd treated my support as their entitlement. They'll have to manage on their own, I said firmly. Another text from Rachel appeared. Please, I didn't mean to hurt you. Let's fix this. I didn't reply. Her words were manipulation, not genuine remorse. Your financial profile is completely secure, Michael confirmed. No shared liabilities remain. The weight I'd carried for years, being their fallback, their bank, began to lift. Margaret gathered her notes. If they challenge this, we're fully prepared. You're in control. A quiet power settled within me. My family had depended on my generosity and silence, expecting me to fold. Every signature today was a refusal to let them define me anymore. 3 weeks later, Emily called with news about my family. Jennifer, Rachel's in serious trouble, she said tensely. She lost a $60,000 design contract. She and her husband Marcus are struggling to pay basic bills. I leaned back unsurprised. Rachel's business had always been unstable, propped up by my support until I withdrew it. Marcus has been desperately trying to find new clients. But nothing's working, Emily added. Grim satisfaction settled in. They'd relied on me too long. That afternoon, Marcus Harper, Rachel's husband 31, called. Jennifer, I owe you an apology, he said, voice low. I had no idea Rachel planned to exclude you from the wedding. I genuinely thought you couldn't attend. His sincerity caught me off guard, but didn't soften me. Marcus, you're married to her, I said evenly. You didn't question her story, he paused. I should have. I'm truly sorry. I didn't respond, letting silence speak. His regret seemed genuine, but it changed nothing. Later, an email from my mother appeared. Subject, please, Jennifer. I deleted it without opening. She'd defended Rachel and dismissed my pain. Her words now were just another attempt to pull me back into their chaos. Emily called again that evening, her tone darker. There's more. Your family has been talking about you in the community. They're claiming you're selfish, that you abandoned them for your career. Anger flared. Selfish? After years of rescuing them, covering their debts, their mistakes? Some people believe them, but others aren't convinced, Emily said. It's creating quite a stir. They couldn't control me anymore, so they were trying to destroy my reputation. Their gossip won't break me, I said firmly. I've built my life and reputation without their help. Their lies won't undo that. 5 weeks later, I was in a meeting when building security called. My family was downstairs demanding to see me. I excused myself and headed to the lobby, bracing for confrontation. My mother stood with my father and Emily near the reception desk. My mother's eyes were red, my father's face expressionless, Emily's expression tense. Jennifer, we need to talk, my mother said, voice trembling. We're sorry. Can we fix this? I crossed my arms unmoved. Their apologies felt like desperation, not sincerity. My father stepped forward. We didn't mean to hurt you. Let's move past this. I shook my head. Too familiar, too late. Emily met my gaze. Jennifer, they asked me to come. I thought maybe you'd listen. I trusted Emily. But I wasn't here to bend. I pulled out my phone, opening a video Rachel had accidentally sent months ago, footage from her wedding where she'd deliberately excluded me. Emily, you need to see this, I said, pressing play. The footage showed Rachel laughing, toasting with guests, saying, Thank goodness Jennifer isn't here to steal my moment. Emily's face went pale, her hand covering her mouth. She planned it, Emily whispered, turning to my parents. You both knew. My mother looked away. My father stayed silent. Their guilt was obvious. Teresa, please, my mother's voice cracked. We're struggling financially. Let us stay in the island house temporarily. I stared, incredulous. They'd rented out my property for years, pocketing profits while I paid taxes and maintenance. Now, with their finances collapsing, they wanted to move in. No, I said coldly. That property is mine. You've taken enough. Emily stepped closer. Jennifer's right. You betrayed her and you're still asking for more. My mother's eyes filled with tears. We're your family. Don't do this. But her words meant nothing. Family doesn't scheme, doesn't lie, doesn't exploit you for years then beg when convenient. You made your choices, I said firmly. Live with the consequences. I turned to the security manager. Please escort them out. My mother's voice rose desperately. Jennifer, don't shut us out. But I walked away, Emily following. In my office, Emily gripped my arm. You did the right thing? That video proves they don't deserve you. I nodded, chest tight. The community might whisper and believe their lies, but I knew the truth. 7 months later, I stood on the deck of my San Juan Islands property. The ocean breeze wrapped around me, carrying the freedom I'd earned through difficult battles. My life now belonged to me, shaped by my choices, unburdened by family demands. My career had soared. A recent promotion placed me at the helm of a major initiative, my confidence razor sharp. Emily and Margaret became my pillars, friends who valued me for who I was, not what I could provide. Over coffee last week, Emily grinned. You're unstoppable, Jennifer. Margaret nodded warmly. You've built something remarkable. Their words ignited something within me, a testament to the strength I'd gained by standing firm. Yesterday, an invitation arrived for my parents' anniversary celebration. They were still chasing their facade of perfection. I sent a small gift, courteous but distant. Their attempt to draw me back failed. That door was permanently closed. Emily shared news of my family's struggles. Rachel and Marcus had moved to a small apartment, their finances crumbling. Their social circle had dwindled. My parents faced their own reckoning, their reputation damaged by their own deceit. They'd profited from my property, leaned on me for years, then spread lies when I walked away. Now they stood alone in the consequences. I leaned on the railing, watching the waves. Their actions had repercussions, and I was no longer their safety net. My home, my career, my life, they were mine, forged through determination and self-respect. As the horizon stretched before me, quiet peace settled in. The sting of betrayal lingered but no longer held me captive. Emily's laughter from our last call rang in my ears, Margaret's steady counsel anchoring me. My family's selfishness cost them their community and stability. I chose myself, and it brought me freedom. This journey taught me an essential truth. Your worth isn't measured by what others take from you. It's defined by what you create for yourself. I let my family define me for too long. Their betrayal revealed their true character and unlocked my potential. To anyone listening, don't let anyone dim your light to fuel their own. Stand firm, own your value. Let those who wrong you face the natural consequences of their choices. I did, and it changed everything. Thank you for hearing my story. Share your thoughts below and consider subscribing for more stories of strength and renewal.